Are you new to Cricut and you're wondering, what can I make first? How do I use iron-on vinyl? And how do I use vinyl? Well, keep watching because I'm going to show you some easy projects you can make with your Cricut machine. I'll give you all my top tips when it comes to making with iron-on vinyl and vinyl. It really is amazing what you can make with your Cricut machine. So let's get started together and I am going to help hold your hand to making the perfect Cricut projects today. If you're wanting to get more out of your Cricut machine and learn the basics, then you're in the right place. So let's head to B&M and pick up some blanks. There really is no better place than going into a budget store like B&M and picking up some blanks for you to personalise. I headed straight to the kitchen storage section to pick up some plastic tubs. And this is a great project because it means I can actually sort out my kitchen cupboards at the same time. While I was in B&M, I also saw some oven gloves, which I thought would be great to show you how to use iron-on vinyl on fabric, and also this wooden board. So as you saw, these are the storage tubs that I picked up, which have the perfect blank space. So whether you want to go into store to buy something, you could just use storage pots you've already got around your house. And they're a huge reason why people buy their Cricut machine, to label and organise. Also picked up this wooden chopping board, which, yes, I am going to add iron-on vinyl along here, which is totally possible on wood. And I picked up some oven gloves, which of course are a fabric material and are great for iron-on too. So let's get personalising. All of the machines connect via Bluetooth to Cricut Design Space, which is where you'll do all of your designing, and then it Bluetooths to the machine, which knows what to cut. There are millions of images and fonts and projects ready for you to get started straight away. Today I'm going to show you how to make this project on my Cricut Maker 4, but you can actually do this project on any machine. There are two ways to cut material on your Cricut machine. You can either use the Cricut Smart Materials, or you can cut materials on a cutting mat. For this project, I'm actually using smart vinyl for one of the smaller machines, but that's absolutely fine because I can just pop it onto the cutting mat. As this is iron-on vinyl, you always want to make sure you place it shiny side down. I then connected my laptop to the machine via Bluetooth. You can then load the mat in under the little plastic clips at either side. Your machine will always measure the size of the material you've loaded, so just make sure there's enough space behind the machine so it can pull the mat through. And now you can just sit back, relax, enjoy a cup of tea while the machine does all of the hard work and cuts out your design you made in Design Space. The machine will let you know once the cut is complete, and all you have to do is press the arrow button and it will eject the mat for you. I then loaded the vinyl onto the mat and also let the machine cut out that design. Now the cuts are complete, we're ready for the next step. Now that the machine has cut out our design, we can get weeding, which is where you use the weeding tool to pick off all of the negative vinyl that you don't need and it reveals your design. So let's do it. For this, I find it easiest to pull at the corner, so you hook it onto your weeding tool like this, and then you can pull around. It will reveal the letters that the machine has cut, as you can see. So just pull it down. I find it so satisfying weeding out iron-on vinyl. I love it. Same again, this is for our regular adhesive vinyl. I am just going to hook with my weeding tool and then pull away that excess. The machine has cut so beautifully that it makes it so easy to just pull away. And then don't forget the inside of your lettering, so the inside, and there you have it, literally done in seconds. So we are now ready to stick these onto the jar, and you might be wondering, how are we going to transfer the text across onto here but keeping it straight? We'll need something called transfer tape, and this is a sticky plastic that will lift up our vinyl that we can easily transfer it across onto the blank, and I will show you exactly how to do that. So open the transfer tape box and you can pull out the full roll. I always like to cut a piece to size of my design. You then want to remove the full transfer tape off of its backing sheet and place it on top of your vinyl. This is then when you'll need your little scraping tool, and you can apply pressure to the top to make sure that vinyl sticks to the transfer tape. I find it easiest to turn over and then remove the vinyl backing to leave the vinyl on the transfer tape. Find the perfect positioning on your blank and get that scraper tool out again to apply pressure on top. Once you're happy it's stuck, you can then just lift the transfer tape off and it will reveal your design left in place. I then repeated the process exactly the same for the other storage container, and it really didn't take long at all. It was such a super easy and quick project to make, which is the perfect one to do if you're a beginner. I'm so pleased with how they turned out, and now we can move on to the iron-on vinyl. For iron-on vinyl you will need a heat press and I absolutely love my Cricut mini press. A heat resistant mat like this one is also essential when it comes to pressing fabrics because it retains the heat and stops it from damaging the surface below. Once the mat's in place, I can then place my design on top of the oven gloves. I always like to use heat resistant tape to make sure that it keeps the design in place. Once the design is stuck down and I'm happy with the placement, it's time to get pressing. Cricut have a great heat guide if you're ever not sure on the timings and temperature needed to press a certain material. For these oven gloves, I went for a medium heat setting and I pressed for about 45 seconds. All Cricut iron-on is a cool peel, so just remove the heat resistant pad and you can put it to the side to cool down. Next up, I moved on to the wooden chopping board, and yes, you can use iron-on vinyl on wood. I used my Cricut heat resistant tape again to keep it in place, and back with the mini press we could get pressing. Iron-on vinyl is great on wooden surfaces, especially when they've got a texture. Then I left this to cool, and once it was cool, I could then remove the carrier sheet from the top. It's really important to do this slowly because you don't want to damage your design. I also removed it from the oven gloves we did earlier, and I absolutely love how this bold monogram turned out. 2 simple ideas you can use iron-on vinyl for. Design Space is also full of loads of projects and images ready to go, so if you're ever stuck for inspiration, that's definitely a great place to check out. So if you are looking for something to make with your Cricut machine as a beginner, head to B&M or just into your kitchen cupboards and pick up things you already have, add some vinyl and iron on, and honestly, it really is as easy as that. And if you still have questions, then make sure to pop them in the comments and one of us will get back to you soon with the answer. Join us again for another Cricut episode coming soon. And thank you so much for watching.